There's some nice bits there. G'day, it's Jason here from In Search of Australia. I returned to that hidden spot, shh, it's a secret, where I'm going to try gravity dredging. Now, although I didn't get to really use the gravity dredge properly, I thought I'd at least demonstrate the theory behind it. I've gone upstream and found somewhere that at least creates a sense of what it does. So this is the upriver part, and you'll notice, if it focuses, there we go. It's actually sucking in all this sediment. Now, the drop isn't enough to really make it worthwhile, but you can see how this, if given enough pressure, could help you clear debris, particularly for sniping. I'm really excited about trying it for sniping, but at the moment, this is all I'm getting. And the way it works is, got the other end right down the bottom there. I think if I had about more of a, say a 30-degree angle, I'd have far more pressure. So I'll take you down there. Now normally you'd put this over a sluice. But you can see there with the ripples, the water's still coming through from up there. The gravity dredge didn't work. Well, I'll qualify that. It worked, but not enough pressure to actually suck up material. And I think it's a case of the hose being too short and there not being enough angle on the river. So you really need a river that's heading downhill as much as possible to get the pressure that you need. I'm going to pivot and I'm going to see what I can get from breaking up this grey slate clay. So up and down the bedrock here, we get a whole lot of this sort of stuff, and you can see that it breaks away quite easily. And what I'm going to do is sort of dig into these bits where along here gold might have got stuck in between these cracks here. Bit of a test pan of some of that grey clay, and there's a few bits here, which is a good sign. The material's really quite sticky. You have to really loosen it, otherwise it just becomes like a bit of a clay ball on the bottom. You might notice I've changed to a black pan. I'm just seeing whether, photography wise, it's easier to see the gold. I actually prefer the other pan because I find these riffles probably just a little bit too shallow for my taste. Just means I've got to be a little bit more careful. Well, it's there. It's consistent, but I wouldn't say it's a lot each time. I get about 5 to 6 specks. Now the wetsuit gets hot, especially if you're just standing out around the place. So I decided to go back to that hole where I got the nice bits last time. And I started working downriver a bit. This was really just to cool down and have a little scratch. But then another nice chunky bit. Now someone did point out that when you zoom in you can't really see how big these things are. I do have a 5-cent piece somewhere, so we'll do it for scale, but it's quite nice, that piece. Just on the side there. Yeah. So I'm back upriver from where all the bedrock sort of rises up out of the river, and I'm continuing a channel downriver from where I got those larger pieces. And as you saw, I got quite a sizable piece just a moment ago. So I'm essentially doing exactly the same thing though. So when I dig in, I'll just find my spot. I'm still digging between the slate, so it's just doing it deeper and probably with bigger pieces. So last time I was digging here, there's a drop off after the bedrock there. I'm now wondering what's here because I went down next to the bedrock there underneath this larger rock, and that's where I've been getting the gold. Again, it goes quite deep, similar to back before, and I think that's why the bigger pieces are in there. So there's a few flakes of gold around here and in there, just in the shadow. So things have just got interesting. It's a red belly black snake. Not sure where he's going. There's the sluice. The tail just disappeared in there. Can't see his head. So the snake finally left that rock. It's sort of sitting in there in the grass. But I noticed it started chasing the lizards, and they all saw it coming a mile away. One of the things that I find interesting is I can see a lot of gold at the top, and I wonder how much actually comes further down the sluice. So I've got a picker in there, quite a good one, if I can get it out without flicking it everywhere. Let's just get these little rocks out. There we go. Get that one. It's too big for this. Yep. How's that for a bit of gold? Before I even emptied the sluice, I got that. That's the sound you want to hear. Very chunky. Loose. Already getting black sand. There's some nice bits there. Plus the big picker. Not a lot, but there's some chunkers there. I'm going to keep going in the hope that I'll get a few more of these big pieces. Still gold at the bottom. I wish it flowed fast enough to snipe. A little extra check. 3 pieces and 2 bits of buckshot. So what I'm going to do now is take what I've got so far, add it to what I got last time and weigh it up. And just see how much in total I've got from this secret spot. And so far, from that hidden spot, 1.323 grams. Very nice. So not bad so far. I'm actually going to come back here and empty that entire area where I've been getting the chunky gold. I think there's a lot more there and it'll be worth the effort. Might take about 2 days, so I'm going to lose a weekend to it. Hope you enjoyed.